Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone checking in. We had a pretty interesting day in the markets today. We ended up bouncing the low of the day just above the 200-day moving average, which held yesterday by the time we closed. And we have a daily inside bar to be watching tomorrow. 256.84 is support, 261.31 is resistance. We just had after hours news of potential proposed further tariffs on Chinese products, so potential for more drama leading to uncertainty and volatility. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. If the bulls do see a break of the daily middle or the daily inside bar, the lower high pattern is maintained as long as 265.26 is resistance. That's the top of the last bounce attempt. Anything under that still maintains lower highs on the daily time frame. So even if we do break bullish on the inside bar, that's not all that the bulls need to try and shift this momentum on the daily time frame. The weekly chart is setting up for a potential equilibrium. We were watching a really tight pattern initially. Then it broke bearish, but we still have our all-time high, low of the pullback, high of the bounce, which is a lower high, and now a potential higher low. Every single bullish day that we see here that either breaks a resistance or sees some follow-through, that shifts the odds slightly in the favor of the bulls of this weekly time frame to try and get their way back to around 270, upper 260s, and in the middle of this equilibrium on the weekly. So that's what we're watching for potential of, but again, the daily chart still hasn't broken the lower high pattern, so the bulls haven't proven anything on that daily chart at this point. There was some odd action on the 5-minute time frame today, so a lot of V-shaped recoveries, but this 25-minute span here, the price ran about $4, and essentially it looks like it was almost because the drama with Trump and Amazon, where the White House came out and said, nah, we don't have any plans to do anything with Amazon right now. And so Amazon ran, and then the market almost ran with it. It almost looked like the market was following Amazon. So that's something to keep an eye on. Trump keeps putting out these tweets that are really hurting the tech sector. And then the White House says, nah, doesn't really mean anything. And then the stock price shoots back up. So that's happened a couple times now, and is definitely something that we need to be keeping an eye on if we are in this market. IWM inside bar on the daily as well, also holding the 200-day moving average. 148.30 is support, and resistance is 150.60. And we're watching for a break of that inside bar, and also watching for this is the strongest market of the three that we're watching very clearly. We're still right around the March lows, and if SPY were at the March lows, right now we'd be up in the mid 260s. So weekly chart for IWM, looking more like an equilibrium, high, low, lower high, higher low, and to get back in the middle of this range, we have to get to about 154. QQQ on the daily, also an inside bar. Lower wick support 154.44, resistance is 157.92. We pulled back a lot further below the March lows. If we were as strong as IWM right now, we'd be in the 163s. And in order to break the lower high pattern on the daily, we have to break 161.71. So a lot of work to do. Step number 1, break the daily inside bar, then break the daily lower highs. Weekly time frame for QQQ is not an equilibrium pattern because we broke to a new all-time high. So it's our high, low, higher high, and still trying a higher low. It's still a weekly uptrend, whereas the other names had the lower high on this bounce attempt. So that's a pretty distinct difference between SPY, IWM, and the Dow with QQQ. VIX on the daily time frame, inside bar, but closed very weak. 2092 support, 2338 resistance. And if we see a bear break, the break of the daily higher low would be 1960. And that would be a clear bear break after clear daily lower highs, unable to break in the $26 range and unable to get over the daily upper Bollinger Band resistance. Weekly for VIX, upper wick of profit taking. We've pulled back from this area now just about 4 times in the last 6 weeks or so, and watching for the daily lower high to break, but the momentum favoring the bears right now. It all depends on how we start the day tomorrow pre-market with the reaction to this new news. Eventually the market's going to price in all this trade war stuff to enough of a degree that the volatility will not be as significant when, tweets or new news comes out about it. But that's not at the point where we're at yet, and it's definitely still an impact. So we'll see tomorrow morning how this daily inside bar is shaping up with where we open pre-market. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow.